This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss, Paulie Howard with you here on a Football Friday, live downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino, the biggest sports book in the entire world. And we are loaded today. We will hit the Week 1 slate in the National Football League, latest point spreads, totals, player props, survivor angles, injuries, college football games today. Who is on upset alert this weekend? Chuck Edel on the program coming up in 30 minutes. He is the defending Circa Friday Night Football Invitational champion. He was 2-1 with us last week. He specializes in college totals. Both of his winners were on totals last week. Mike Somich, VSiN host, in an hour, his best bets for Week 1. And we will talk Chiefs, Chargers many times today throughout the show. And in 90 minutes, that's with Todd Lebo, who covers the Chiefs for Sports Radio 810 in Kansas City, Paulie. And that's where we are going to begin. We will get to what happened last night at the back end of win-lose in this hour. But on the screen right now, Chiefs holding steady as a 3-point favorite. I do see 3.5 out there as we speak. It looks like FanDuel has minus 118 on the 3. Most other spots are flat, and the total now up to 47.5. A common narrative, of course, that you hear leading into every single season is, how big is that Super Bowl hangover going to be for the team that lost it? Well, how about this? Super Bowl losers have won 6 of their last 8 season opening games, 4-4 ATS. It was really before this current stretch when it was abysmal. They lost 12 of the previous 17, and they are 2-15 ATS. So that common narrative, early part of the century, kind of out the window here lately. And, you know, we get into some of these numbers here, but Andy Reid is also like dynamite in Week 1 when he's on the road, Paul.
I mean, I played them money line. I think they're going to win because they've won 7 in a row over the Chargers, and they've won 17 consecutive one-score games. And every time it's close, the Chargers find a way to blow it. 0-9 the last 2 years in games decided by 3 points or fewer. So the games are close, but Kansas City finds a way to pull it out. They're going to try to win the division 9 years in a row and get back to the Super Bowl. So you are exactly right with Reid. You're right with the dominance in the division, 51-9 against the division going back. And I just think they'll be able to have success moving the ball against this Chargers defense, which I felt was kind of phony last year. We'll get into the numbers coming up, but they only allowed 17 points per game. And now you're worried about, Slater's out, Becton's sick. I think there's too much going on, and I think the Chiefs will come out of there victorious tonight and get the win and cover. Yeah,
when you look at the scores from last year, both of them really low scoring, 19-17 the second time, 17-10 the first time around, and the total now beefed up here to 47.5. Kansas City ran the ball a lot in those games. In fact, they were running it like 25 times. They didn't have a ton of success. The first game was 25 for 96. The second game combined overall, they ran it 26 times for 101 yards and 1 touchdown. The Chargers overall last year were an easy team to run the ball on, and that should, in theory, be the case this year based on their overall talent. And also, they did, I don't want to say that they went way over their skis with expectations last year, because their win total was either 8.5 or 9, and they won 11, but also they had the easiest schedule based on teams that they were playing in the entire league. It was super easy. Plus, they had a plus 12 turnover margin, which you figure probably will not repeat this year. Yeah. And more now on Andy Reid overall when the spread is in this range. So with Kansas City and the Chiefs are between a 3-point dog and a 3-point favorite, which is what they are tonight. They are 50, 24, and 1 ATS in those games. And how about this? In Week 1 on the road with Andy Reid as their head coach, this is neutral, but I'd still consider it like a road game for them. They are 6-0 ATS with Reid on the road in Week 1. I mean, this guy, the whole thing about his career has been he's like the best coach ever off a bye, and you always want to be looking at betting on his teams after a bye. That also factors into he has the entire offseason to prepare.
Yeah.
And so they come out in Week 1 and they just, they've been automatic pretty much in this spot.
Here's what I was reading in the summer about Warren Sharp and Chargers defense. They played the 6th easiest schedule of offenses and the 6th easiest schedule of quarterbacks. So the numbers were phony and a little bit fugazi. Minshew benched, Young benched, Fields benched, Nix rookie, the Haener-Rattler combo, Winston, Levis, May, O'Connell. Who beat them? Mahomes, Murray, Jackson, Mahomes again, Mayfield, lit them up. Burrow lit them up, but they won the game. So that's a 1-5 record against above-average quarterbacks. So again, I think just based on they always find a way to win. They've owned them in the last 7. The luck factor in the 17 consecutive one-score games. The fact what this defense did against good quarterbacks. And it's a great discussion, too, because I like them and you like them. This is a game that Herbert usually doesn't win. This guy is now 41-40. His career record as a quarterback. And I know he's had some bad coaches, but that's stench and stink. But what happened in the playoff loss to Houston when they were expected to win and 4 interceptions and a pick 6. He's got to play well in these big games, and when the spotlight's on, he's got to do well and move the ball here and get a big win and see if he can get a playoff win and take this organization to the next level.
Yeah, I'm going to let this total breathe for a little longer.
That's a good. I'm with you on that one.
Because if it keeps going up and it touches like 48.5 or somehow like a 49, I'll be looking at playing the under. The last 6 times that these two teams have played, the under is 5-1 overall, and going to be like more. We saw it last year with like the lack of explosiveness with Kansas City in the air. And again, like I talked about, the last 2 times that they played, meaning last year, they ran the ball more than 50 times combined in those 2 games. And Jim Harbaugh is a run-first coach for sure. I just think we're going to see potentially like maybe longer possessions. Again, the divisional familiarity between these two teams could come into exist, and more kind of like a grind-out type of game rather than like an aerial shootout here that I think the market is kind of expecting by bumping this total up.
Well, you don't know about the field either. It was a mess last year, although it was a high-scoring game. But it's, if these guys are slipping out there on defense, I got to see how that works as well. And one respected group bet the over earlier in the week as well, was responsible for the move. And plus, it's been a ATM machine going back. Chiefs second half unders and fourth quarter unders going back the last couple years too. The second half unders are 71% since 2023 for Kansas City.
By the way, Paulie, based on what you just said, there's nothing wrong with waiting to watch the game with your own eyes tonight.
Yeah.
To see if the field conditions are going to be a problem or if they have it corrected from a year ago. And you can maybe get involved with a total early if you see something like it's not going to be a problem, or, oh my God, here we go again. It's going to be the Eagles-Packers all over again. Have you done anything yet with Xavier Worthy's rushing prop?
Yeah, over 3.5.
You got over 3.5?
Yes.
That's a really good move up.
Yep.
So
they give him the ball at least once a game. I think he can get that done today. And let me know because I got a question for you.
Okay. Because he had at least 1 rush in 14 out of 20 games last year. That includes the playoffs. I graded this at 4.5. 11 overs to that number last year. Against the Chargers, for what it's worth, he had 0 carries in 1 game and 1 carry for 5 yards in the other. Go ahead. What's your question?
Okay. Well, no, Rice. So I think he's a big part of the offense, and they'll see some imagination and creativity. So what's going on with the Chargers tight end situation? So you look, and Disley's number 1, and Conklin's number 2. But Conklin's got higher props. Anytime touchdown, receptions, yards, all of it. Made a nice rapport last year with Disley.
He did.
And he was the bee's knees for a couple weeks. So now, even though he's listed ahead of him on the depth chart, the DraftKings and most of the numbers are saying Conklin is going to be the guy and not Disley here from a prop standpoint.
Yeah, okay. Good observation. Because, honestly, like my head tells me the first guy to look at there would be Disley.
He's very low.
At a manageable number of 15.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 2 catches, and he's going to go over that. But, again, like what are the projected snaps for him compared to Conklin in the game tonight? And, by the way, they could go double tight end, so both guys are going to get action here a lot in this game, just based on the Chargers' injuries on the offensive line. Because they're probably going to need extra protection here for Herbert when they're going to be throwing the football. And I'm also, which leads me to their pick overall in the first round this past year, Omari and Hampton. Like, what does his usage look like? I was looking at rushing attempts for him tonight in the game. It's 11.5, but now it's getting a little juicy to the over. If you go back and look at attempts by the lead back for the Chargers last year, now there was a split early on between Dobbins and Edwards. Week 1, it was 11-10. Week 2, they controlled Carolina the entire time. It was 18-17. And then from week 3 on, the lead back had 15, 14, 25. 14, 17, 14, 15, 11 carries all the way until late in the season. Mm-hmm. And when they got in front of these teams, they were running the ball a ton. So do they get the lead tonight? And maybe that would be something that you could watch in play, because with a lead, I'd want to bet Hampton's attempts over. But I also am trying to figure out, like, what's going to be the split with Harris, because he's good to go.
Yeah, I know, but he's got the eye with the fireworks. With the fireworks incident in the eye, so I don't know how big they've been keeping that quiet.
Do you trust Harbaugh at all with whatever he says?
No. And plus, Becton's got the flu.
That's another thing with the offensive line,
Yeah.
Because I want to bet Hampton over 11.5, but I maybe that's again, look for something live, or you're better off waiting until you have a little bit more data here in the season to see how that backfield split's going to be.
I'm right back on the kickers.
Dicker over
1.5. Yep.
Well, be careful
over
with the field on this, though. But if we have a good field, I think Dicker's automatic play here.
Top 5 worst beat with Elliott from 58.
Oh, how bad is that?
That's a horrific beat. The fact that they even tried it.
I know.
He made 1 the whole year. We got Aubrey 53 in our back pocket.
Sitting there the whole time. I was counting the money.
Elliott from 58. Oh, it's unbelievable. Game had everything. NFL season underway. And the edge goes to those with the best data. VSiN Pro delivers real-time DK and Circa betting splits so you can see where the public and sharps are putting their money. The email recapping all the best bets, every host, every guest, the dog videos, the pro tools, everything you need to stay ahead of the season. $9.99 or save 50% with an annual subscription. VSiN.com/subscribe today. Get in, join the team, the prop analyzer. The website's fire, all the betting systems, VSiN.com/subscribe. Jump on board.
We will dive into the Sunday slate coming up next. Divisional dogs in this spot are almost 68% ATS going back more than a decade. I will give you those details next here on VSiN.
If you're serious about football betting, VSiN's got your weekend game plan. Fridays at 7 p.m., it's the Circa Friday Football Invitational. Saturday morning, VSiN's college football tailgate show at 9 a.m., breaking down matchups, props, and big-time bets. Later that night, join the football contest show as the sharpest betting minds give you their picks for Sunday's game. And Sunday at 9 a.m., lock in with Mitch and Paulie on VSiN's Pro Football Tailgate Show. Your final stop before kickoff. Check out the full lineup at VSiN.com and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
So, Paulie, have you had a chance to read the VSiN Daily yet?
Yeah, came in at 3 a.m. What's Bill doing up that late?
Well, rumor has it, it starts off with a 12-hour meditation session.
Then he just pours himself over film and live TV, really focusing and taking it all in. Bill's in with the biggest insiders, talking trade secrets, strategies, the whole nine, absorbing the info.
And then and only then can the writing process begin.
In Las Vegas, Bill's late night becomes your early morning. Wake up to the very latest betting insights in your inbox with the VSiN Daily. Sign up for free at vsin.com/newsletter.
On the next A Numbers Game, it is Monday. You know what that means during the NFL season. Guessing lines, a tradition unlike any other. The object of this exercise is try to extract value from the upcoming week's NFL lines. I have not seen them. We recap last week's games. We analyze the upcoming matchups. I guess Kelly tells me what the real line is, and we try to find the value within. Interactive guessing lines on Mondays. A Numbers Game right here at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Good to have you on board. Thanks for watching today on YouTube TV, listening on Sirius XM channel 158, or on any of the fine terrestrial radio stations where you can find VSiN coast to coast. On to the games coming up on Sunday. Steelers are playing at the Jets on the screen right now. 2.5s out there on the Steelers still. 3s, various juice. Definitely shop around. Total ticking down, Paulie. I see some 38.5s out there, but I also see it as low as 37.5, and that, when you expect a grind-out game, that can be in that key number kind of range. Mike Tomlin, most of these numbers today are going to be from VSiN.com, along with maybe some other outlets as well, but the website here with the network is so good. Mike Tomlin, 32-9 under the total as a road favorite.
Yes.
But
that's awesome.
As a favorite overall since 2018, 23-30 ATS. The totals have been at pure gold with this guy.
Yep. I'm with our guy Phil Hellmuth on this one. I just don't see how the Jets are going to score. And the other thing is the magic number is 21. This from Evan Abrams. During his career, when the opponent scores more than 20 points, Fields is 0-21 straight up. Hello.
Oh.
Can't score, can't throw. Fall behind early, forced to play catch-up, no good. 12-29 straight up, his career in the NFL. Should be some heat on Tomlin. Doesn't have a playoff win in 8 seasons. It's unacceptable. So I think Rodgers is going to have a good year. I think Metcalf is going to have a monster year. I love the acquisition of Smith. I want to see how that looks. So I don't want to, because I know he was a target monster and how good he was in Miami. But I love the tight ends. I think the running game will be fine. Can they protect Rodgers? But I just don't think there's anything that the Jets can do with the lack of a passing game. Horrible, terrible news now with Tucker out for the year as well.
Oh, yeah.
Big time. You lose an offensive lineman for the season. That just happened the other day. But I think I think they can get to 21 points, and then that's all she wrote. And I think the Steelers are going to come away with the W here to start.
Rookie head coaches, not great covering spreads at home over the last decade. 45.9%. That's 146, 172, and 10 pushes overall. That is what Aaron Glenn is looking at here in this game. I did bet Caleb Johnson earlier in this week over 17.5 rushing yards based on the number. And I am considering Steelers in an ATS pick'em contest.
Yeah.
And one of my partners wants to use him in Survivor. We'll see how that conversation goes over the next 24 hours.
Metcalf too low? 53.5?
Well, I mean, the Jets do have a pretty good defense still. I'm not going to say it's elite. I was absolutely hoodwinked by all these outlets last year telling me how good the defense was going into the season.
They're terrible.
Best secondary, best linebackers, best front seven. I fell for it, and they were below average.
Yeah.
So, Bengals at the Browns. This one I find extremely intriguing. Now, how about this? Week 1 divisional home dogs since 2009. 18, 10, and 2 straight up, 24 and 6 ATS. Hello, plus 5.5. For what it's worth, the Bengals in this spot as a road favorite between 3 and 7 points since 2015 are 17 and 1 straight up in ATS. And Zach Taylor in this spot as a favorite between 3 and 7 points, 20 and 5 straight up, and ATS right around that same number. I can't get there with the Bengals, though.
Oh, rare?
No, I can't do it. There's no way.
Yeah.
You can?
I think Flacco can have a big year, and he have a big game rather in this one. The other thing you got to consider is it's like the Colts. Cleveland's horrendous week 1, 3-23-1 straight up since '95. Oh God! So now you bring in Golden, supposed to help out, fix this defense which was so bad. You got off to the slow start. You couldn't win close games. Burrow with an all-time year, Chase with an all-time year, still went 9-8. And couldn't get in there. But the fact that he has to give you pause, you're right, what goes on with Taylor, always with the slow starts. But I think finally playing the guys in the preseason will get them over the hump here. And most people think the Browns are either the worst team or the second worst team in the league. But first things first is can you at least have a average or just not a horrendous defense? And if you can slow down Flacco in this one. But I can't recommend the Browns, even though that's been so strong and everyone's been talking about it for 2 weeks, how great that's been with home dogs week 1 in the division.
I'm 90% that I'm going to be on the Browns in an ATS contest out here.
Okay, wow.
Here's also another factor for this game to consider. Now, the Bengals, when you go back to last year, they allowed the most receptions to tight ends per game and the 3rd most receiving yards. Well, What does that mean for Cleveland? David Njoku, when you go back and look when he played with Joe Flacco in 2023, the first game, not much. 2 catches, 6 yards. Okay? Not going to get the job done. After that, and this will include the playoff game against Houston when they got blown out, Njoku, 6 for 91, 2 touchdowns. 10 for 104 and a touchdown. 6 for 44 and a touchdown. 6 for 134 in the final game of the regular season. And in the playoff loss to Houston, 7 for 93. Now, it's a high number this week. It's upper 40s. But if Flacco has anything left, again, this is 2 years ago, so he might not. I don't know. But if he has anything left, specifically against this really bad defense, don't you want to target Njoku like in player props? And I haven't seen anything for the rookie, but Harold Fannin as well.
I would look Fannin, yeah.
I did not see books post him earlier.
The other thing, too, Cleveland went under their team total 14 of the 17 games last year. So how bad that offense was. But get some Flacco fever, maybe a little magic. And what happened a couple years ago shocked everyone. So we'll see if they're able to do it here and at least keep it competitive and close. And it's an intriguing game. But again, everyone's been talking about the divisional dog numbers and how far you want to go back. But there's the 23-7 since 2010, and then the Mackinac numbers, which Mitch just talked about going back since 2009, the 80% run.
Right, so those are home dogs. What about divisional road dogs? Well, then we're talking Giants and Commanders. Divisional road dogs catching 6.5, listen to me, 6.5 points or fewer are 17-14 straight up, 21-10-1 ATS since 2013. That's 67.7%. The Giants are also 5-2 straight up, 6-1 ATS last 7 trips to Washington. Brian Dable 19-8 under the total as a single-digit dog. And the Commanders here since 2017. I get it, new regime, new quarterback from last year, new coaching staff. But against divisional opponents, 16-32 ATS.
Too popular? A lot of good points on X about no one's picking Washington.
That's fair.
A lot of Giants love. They were so good in the preseason. Also their issues in week 1. They've lost 5 of the last 6 week 1, and they've been blown out in most of them. Remember the last 2 years? Hello. The Dallas game, what happened against Minnesota? Danny Dimes, the pick 6 early. That was pathetic. So I do like Scatterboo, anytime touchdown at plus 310. But, a lot of this, the variance, the luck factor, and can this 4th down stuff continue with Washington? Love Quinn, love Kingsbury. I don't think there'll be regression with Daniels, but the whole McLaurin situation as well. What does Debo have left in the tank? I just think, and I'm coming around here. I think the Giants can have a nasty defense. I'm with you. With Carter and Tibbs.
Oh, they're going to have one of the best front fours in the entire league.
Yeah.
Burns that they added.
That's right.
Thibodeau.
Right.
You brought you Tibbs. Okay, sure.
And they have weapons on offense now. We'll see if the long shot to Neighbors is a good connection, and that works out for them. So I'd like to see the Giants hang in this one and see if they can surprise a lot of people. But certainly the future's bright for the Giants. But it does give me pause with all the week 1 issues and how bad this organization has been. Not only week 1, but all the slow starts. Every year the Giants are 1-5 again. What happened? Season's over. Oh, they're 1-4 again. Another poor start.
So on the screen right now, we're looking at the betting splits that you can look at Circa and also DraftKings. By the way, get this at VSiN.com when you become a subscriber. VSiN.com/subscribe. You can check out the betting splits at these 2 sports books on every sport that they have. 90% of the handle on the Giants here at Circa. But it's early in the week yet, so that'll correct itself by kickoff, I'm guessing. But I told my one partner in Survivor who wants to play the Commanders, I said, you're going to have to fly to Las Vegas, wrestle me to the ground, and break my legs if you want me to submit Washington in a Survivor play. There's no way I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll look elsewhere. And my wife is in the contest this year.
All right.
So now she's picking my brain. And I said, if you ask me for advice and it loses, and if you blame me for 1 second, we're done. We're finished.
Yeah.
I didn't go that far. But I did say, you can't do that. You can't blame me if I give you a pick and it loses. And I said, look, you can take Washington might win 30-0. I don't know. Nobody knows. But there's no way know how I'm playing them. She wanted my advice in the game. That's what I told her. And that's what I'm telling the audience right now.
Yeah. Okay. I hope they can hang around. I've done a 180 on them. So I hope the Giants can make this interesting. Our betting splits cut through the noise, pulling real-time data straight from Circa and DraftKings. Track the percentage of bets and handle on every game across every major sport to make sharper, more informed bets. Start your edge today, just $9.99 at VSiN.com/subscribe. VSiN.com/subscribe. Where are we at here with what's going on? Alcaraz won the first set. 3-0 Joker in the second set. Okay. We got a good one here.
All right, the rally is on, eh?
Yes. $4 favorite Alcaraz, almost. Big one.
Did you bet this at all?
No, just wanted to watch it. I can't believe they're starting it at noon Pacific, and the center match is at 4.
I'll say one thing. The Osaka match last night was awesome.
I enjoyed it. It was empty. I get it's midnight, but come on.
Well, all right, Chuck Edel on the program coming up next. 2-1 last week. Both of his college totals cashed. Who is he on this week? Find out with us coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
There's no better time to join VSiN Pro. Right now, get started for just $9.99 for your first 30 days or save 50% off with an annual subscription. As a Pro user, you'll get our newly updated NFL betting guide as well as the college football betting guide, the ultimate playbook packed with expert picks, team previews, and best bets. Plus, you'll unlock exclusive features like real-time betting splits, daily best bets, and full access to the VSiN Watch app. Don't miss out. Head to VSiN.com/subscribe and join us on the Sports Betting Network. Get your edge this season with VSiN's College Football Betting Guide, exclusive to VSiN Pro subscribers. It's packed with 136 team previews, preseason top 25 rankings, and best bets from our experts. Pro subscribers also get the NFL Betting Guide, daily best bet emails, exclusive splits, and full access to our premium betting tools. Sign up now at VSiN.com/subscribe for just $9.99 for your first 30 days. Or save 50% with an annual Pro subscription and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN,
the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
By the way, coming up tonight after us, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock out here on the West Coast. It is week one of the Circa Friday Football Invitational. Matt Humans and 25 handicappers go for Derek Stevens' money that he is putting up at the end of the year. And it's a fun contest, a lot of great action in it, a lot of great handicappers that you can trust throughout the year. None other than this guy. I mean, no more than this guy that we have on the program right now as professional sports bettor. Chuck Edel joins the program, and he is going to be on tonight following us at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific for a full hour with Matt Humans right here on VSiN. Chuck, thanks for the time as always. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
2-1 last week in this spot. 3 college games, obviously, as the NFL wasn't back quite yet. And 2-0 with your totals. Surprise, surprise. You love going at it with the college football totals. And what do you want to do this week? This is the noon kickoff on Fox tomorrow. So it's Iowa and Iowa State, always a must-watch between these two teams. They know each other obviously exceedingly well. The total here on the screen, Chuck, between 42.5 and 43.5. What do you want to do with this game?
Yeah, I'm going to go against the grain, what you normally would think here, but I'm going to go over in the game. This is a different type of Iowa team than we've been watching for a while now. They have they have a quarterback, and they haven't had a quarterback for a long time. I can't remember how long it's been, but they got Gronowski here at the quarterback. He played for South Dakota State, transferred over here. He won the championship with South Dakota State over there, and they're finally going to have some confidence in offense and throwing the ball. And they're going to play faster. They played last week. Now they beat Albany, but they ran 69 plays. It was against Albany, but they weren't rushing to play, and they had a nice lead most of the whole game. They dominated the game. Last year, Iowa was one of the slowest teams in the country. So compared to that 69 plays they ran in that Albany game, they ran 58 plays a game they averaged last year. And, that's a big difference. Now when they're playing a competitive game here in Iowa State, I expect them to, reach right around that 69-70 mark. Iowa State, meanwhile, they do play at a good pace. They average 70.5 plays a game this year. It's only 2 games, but that's about what they averaged last year. 31 points a game they average for the season. And listen, this Iowa State's going to be a good game. Iowa State has their quarterback who played well last year, Rocco Beck. He threw 25 touchdowns last year. So, the total was 35 last year. So they have made adjustments, obviously, but I think they haven't adjusted quite enough for this one. They're still looking at the slow play, methodical play of Iowa, how they like to just run the ball and use the clock. So I think they're a little off on the number here, and I think going forward, you probably won't be able to get the number, as low as it is right now. So I'm going to go over that total.
All right, very good. Another total. NFL now. Rams against the Texans. Texans have a great defense. Rams also, defense was phenomenal down the stretch. The concerns about Stafford's back. He says he's good to go. We'll see what happens if there's a big hit on him. You played under 44 in this game. Take us through your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, like you said, Paulie, I mean, Stafford's been dealing with the bad back all summer. He's 37 years old now, so he's not getting any younger. And obviously, there's a lot of talk. He's got 2 good wide receivers with Nakua and Adams, and there's a lot of hype, and I think that also helped push the lineup a little bit. But they're going to be tested by a really strong Houston defense. Houston, they rush the passer. They play very good in the secondary. They were 4th in the NFL last year in sacks. They were 1st in defensive completion percentage, holding teams down. So Stafford's going to get hit. We'll see how he responds. But with this Houston defense, that's the strength of their team right now. I believe that Stafford is, definitely going to be running for his life a little bit. They could run the ball, the Rams, a little bit too. They're, and Stafford, when healthy, has looked good. But Houston, even against the top offenses last year, really kind of kept those teams in check. It was basically their offense, Houston, that struggled. The offensive line last year was terrible, and Stroud was running for his life. They did rebuild the offensive line this year, but it's still a work in progress. It's going to take them time to gel. And I don't think that, that they're going to have a lot of success against a Rams young defense, an improving defense. And you got Mixon's out, Chubb's in. I'm hearing Chubb's not 100%. He's going to play, but he's not the running back that we've been seeing over the before he got injured. And so I do like this game to go under the total.
All right, very good. I was looking based on a lot of the stuff that you were saying right there, and when I was looking into this game earlier this morning, I was looking for a prop in this game, Chuck, on how many combined sacks we would get in this game. I looked at countless sports books. I didn't see one. I think both quarterbacks are going to be under some pressure here.
I agree. You'll see it up either tomorrow or Sunday, and it's probably going to be in the 4.5 range. I agree with you there on the. I think both the defenses here are going to put pressure on the quarterbacks. We'll see how this Houston offensive line. They really struggled last year. They did change a lot of guys around, but the offensive line is one thing. It takes a lot of chemistry. It takes a while for them to gel. So we'll see how they go. Rams have that young, aggressive defense too. They'll be tested.
All right, it's all about cash and tickets. And I know we love that you're a Chicago guy, and you love the Cubs. So it might be difficult here to get to the window on the Packers. As a Chicago guy, are you buying the Packers hype and the second choice to win the NFC now after they acquire Parsons? And what does that mean for Week 1, laying 2-3 at home against the Lions?
Yeah, the first thing here with the Lions, I'm looking at I think the Lions are going to drop down a little bit here. The loss of coordinators and obviously Ben Johnson, a big loss. He called the plays last year. He had a very creative offense, and I expect their offense not to be as they were last year. He had the talent there. They still do have the talent. They did lose some guys on the offensive line, but I think they're going to drop down a notch with both coordinators being gone. And they got the one thing Green Bay did do, and part of the reasons they did get Parsons, Green Bay knows they have to beat Detroit. They're trying to build a team now to build Detroit. Goff, he struggles when there is pass pressure on him. If you give him time, he's one of those guys who could beat you up really good. But if you could figure out a way to put pressure on Goff, and I think that's when they bring Parsons in. I think that's the main reason they bring him in, because to put pressure on him. I'm hoping he's going to play, decent amount. He'll probably play in the passing situations this game Sunday. He's not, he's still, basically missed the whole, preseason. So he's still getting in shape, but he'll be out there. I know there was a lot of talk about his injury and stuff, but he'll be out there playing. And I think that you will see here. I like the Green Bay. I love LaFleur as a coach. I think he's one of the more underrated coaches out there. I give a big coaching edge here to LaFleur, in the game, period. And Green Bay at home, I think that it looks like a solid 2 out there right now, and that's kind of what I laid. I was a little late to the dance, but I do like Green Bay in this one.
Very strong. So when you're on tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific, can you tease the audience here how many college totals you're going to have for the contest?
Yeah, I'm going to. They only let us have 4 totals on the for the contest. You only could use up to 4 totals, and I'll have 4 totals.
Well, very good.
The Chuck Edel rule.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, sure. They snuck that into the fine print on you, Chuck. Jeez. Yeah. All right, pal. Thanks for the time.
I'll have some totals next week, too. I'll have some totals for us here next week as well. I just was a little behind on my work, but we'll have some totals next week.
Very good. I can't wait to watch and figure out what you're going to be on tonight. Thanks for the time. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, so he won it last year. By the way, if you want to be in the Average Joe contest, this thing has absolutely exploded this year, Paulie, with how big this has gotten. If you win the Average Joe contest, you get in the Friday Night Invitational with guys like Chuck Edel automatically next year. You qualify automatically. You're in.
Huge.
Go to VSiN.com/Joe today. It's free to play. Weekly and quarterly prizes. Again, the winner, think about that for a second. Not only will you have the bragging rights this year, you can win some of those prizes, which are awesome. Go to VSiN.com/Joe to check it out for yourself. But then if you win it, you get to play in it. And by the way, Weston, guy in the cornfield, friend of the show, he was the first participant in it 2 years ago, right, when they said, maybe we should have an Average Joe in there. Weston got in, did really well. Guess how he backed it up last year? What was it, a top 5 finish out of Weston a year ago? So phenomenal stuff. And like more than 3,000 again, way more than 3,000. But being it, and if you're the best, that's going to be like pound your chest time for as long as you're alive.
These late games are so good. And the fact that Detroit has won 3 in a row in Lambeau and beat Green Bay 6 of the last 7. I mean, Sal Pal had that great point Wednesday. You know, Packers were a playoff team. They went 1-5 inside the division. And both coaches have been great to start. Campbell, 11-3 ATS in September, and LaFleur, 15-3 ATS, first 3 games of the season. What a matchup to start.
All right, up next, we'll get to win some, lose some. We're going to discuss the aftershocks felt from the Cowboys-Eagles game last night. How bad was the beat on the over? How about this? It was 172-1 over the last 20 years under this scenario. You can make it 172-2. Paulie with all the details coming up next here on VSiN.
As sports fans, we may cheer for different teams, but there's one thing that we can all agree on. We want the game to be big. And with 3 levels, 30 cabanas, a 143-foot screen, 6 clean pools, and endless cold drinks, it doesn't get any bigger or any better than Stadium Swim in Las Vegas. All sports, all seasons. It's more than a pool deck. Stadium Swim. It's the only thing like it in the world.
Check out Stormy and JVT on Money Moves, only on VSiN.
And maybe that's why they wouldn't, because they're the Giants and they don't do things that make sense.
Out of all these divisions, this is the one that I am the most curious about, because I do think there are positive signs for the Bears.
They'll take you on a fun, fast-paced journey, weaving in everything you need to know to make an educated bet, while also not shying away from the excitement of a same-game parlay sweat. Money Moves, weekdays at 2 p.m. Eastern on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser!
Paulie Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
We had it all. A 1-hour delay. Carter ejected before the first play. Looked like the Cowboys were going to come back. Big tickets cash, too. Scoreless quarter plus 410 here at Circa. Most rushing yards in the game. Hurts 10-1. First touchdown, Williams 13-1. 2 touchdowns, 15-1. Both teams to score in the first quarter, yes, plus 145. Eagles win between 1 and 7 points, plus 240. No touchdown passes in the game.
Yeah, good job by Shelby, by the way, who runs the Fans of VSiN Facebook page. Nice bet on Williams at 15-1 to hit those 2 touchdowns.
Yep, got it coming up. Eagles, Hurts no touchdown, 3-1. Dak no touchdowns, plus 320. Dak no interception, plus 140. 1 turnover in the game. Dak made an incredible tackle. It's probably a house call, scoop and score.
Well,
big Sanders fumble.
I think because of the deflections last night as well, he probably could have had like 3 INTs that were not his fault.
Yeah.
But I know you have the Lamb here too. Lamb could have had 200 yards last night.
Absolutely. Dallas should have won that game.
Easily could have won it.
He had 3 drops. I like what Collinsworth said at the end. Tough catch, but catchable.
Yeah, that was a very difficult catch. But the one where Dak hit him just in stride was such a...
Yeah. I mean, they're in the red zone with a chance to win.
Yeah.
He drops it. Hurts 2 touchdowns, plus 320. And the Aces did it again. We loved the spot. We mentioned that briefly yesterday. They'd won 12 in a row. They were home dogs against the Lynx. The last loss was the worst home loss in the history of the WNBA. And I didn't see a price on this. Golden State clinched a playoff spot. I think that's the first expansion team in WNBA history to make it. But I didn't see a price on it. Subscribe, be part of the team, VSiN.com, our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos at Paulie Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in. We'll put you on. Here you go, Shelby. Great job. Won $4,000 on that. Williams 2 touchdowns. And the under 1.5 short touchdown cashes, no problem. Great job to cash that. Good job. Phil Hellmuth in studio yesterday. I couldn't believe this. We asked him, could he stick around for another segment? He goes, no, I have to catch a flight. 3:30. Well, he got out of here at what, 2:55? 2:50? He got out of here?
Well, he said right there he left at 2:43. So are you saying, like, what time did he actually get in the taxi at Circa?
Yes.
Probably about 2:50 or something like that, yeah.
He made it to the airport in time.
That's got to be, at that time of day, that's got to be a 25-minute trip?
I thought for sure he was flying JSX or something.
100%.
It's the Southwest. There he is. Great job, Poker Brad. Well done. And all the halibut talk yesterday, my cousin Mikey, I think we have a record here. 177, is it?
It's a teenager who caught it.
Yeah.
The fish is, 1.5 times bigger than he is.
Look at the size of that thing. That is well done.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
What a thrill.
How long does it take to reel that thing in?
I mean, it took me 15. And when we were fishing and I caught that one, we were in I believe, 300 feet of water. So you got to be out there like in, deep sea, basically.
Yeah.
So it's going to take, I mean, if that fish is 177 pounds, how much is the kid to his left? 140?
Right.
Maybe. It's going to take him, it's got to be at least close to a half an hour if he didn't get any help.
Deep sea fishing, Paul, 177-pound halibut outweighs him, could be a world record. Thanks for Dan who sent it in.
That is the best eating fish there is, in my opinion.
Yeah, I love it. Randy McKay did it again. In town for the sign-ups, all the contest. He's in Grandissimo. He sits down before the Cowboys game. Dealt 4 to the Royal. $5 denomination. He gets it. $20,000.
Okay, now, would you like the story on this?
Sure.
The brief background story on this?
Sure.
So I hung out here at Circa after our show last night to watch at least the first half of the game. I ran into him as soon as you text me. You're like, Randy did it again. 5 minutes later, I saw him walking down here. He's got a grin from ear to ear, obviously. And I said, you popped it again? Yeah. He goes, you want to know why? Wilbo here, Big Balls, would not allow him behind the fence here or the rope to sit and watch with Derek. Said there's no room. Can't have you.
Oh, really?
So he said, okay, whatever. Decided to go upstairs in high limits because there's a TV up there in high limit.
Up there.
He sat at one of the machines so he could see the TV, and that's the reason why he hit it.
Unbelievable. McKay.
Are you kidding me?
Yep. And last year he comes to town, he hits a $20,000 Royal here. He goes across the street to the gate and hits one for $8,000. Lose some.
Dealt 4, by the way. You knew he was going to pop it.
I never get that. Never. How about Caitlin Clark out for the season?
Yeah,
She played 13 games?
That's rough.
With the groin? It's a groin injury? Incredible. Oh, want to lose some video. I'm afraid of heights. I would never do this. Look at this ride. It's like medieval times. Like a dam / Lord of the Rings thing going on here? And it just spins you over and over and over again? Oh, I'd lose my lunch. I mean, Dad is... No way. You couldn't pay me to go on that thing.
Yeah, see, I like rides quite a bit. That doesn't even look fun. How is that enjoyable?
I know. Exactly. We were talking to Big Webb, and he was out here, and his girlfriend's daughter, they were going to bungee jump off the stratosphere.
Again,
I go, there's just no... Come on.
It's a hard pass.
No way. Bad beats. Are you kidding me? The over 46 up to 48, whenever you got it. I mean, there wasn't a point scored after the delay. 3 points in the second half. It's the first time in 30 years that on the first 8 drives, there were points, and then the last 8 drives, no points scored.
Uh-huh.
And what's your big boy here?
NFL games over the last 20 years with a total set at less than 50 that had 40-plus points in the first half were 172 and 1 to the over. Evan Abrams checking in.
Yeah.
Now 172 and 2.
In the second half. It's incredible.
We were talking about this out here watching the game. Like, what did no punts pay in the first half? I doubt you could find that, but no punts for the game you absolutely could have found. And you were looking great at halftime.
That's right. I think that we get up to like the 68 in play, 69 in play, I think, with that total. Longest field goal made in the game. The numbers we ran down yesterday. Again, Aubrey's the most accurate kicker in history from 50 plus. He gets 90% from 50 plus. 53, no problem. And then Elliott, who made 1 the whole year from 50 plus. He trots him out from 58, which I couldn't believe, and he nails it. I would have liked the information, though, before. We talked to the Eagles. It's a whole different guy. Completely different kicker now. The camp that he had.
Well, either way.
But still.
But it doesn't matter. I'm still betting that at even money.
I know.
I just had to laugh that it was a loser. It's an automatic bet. I'd do it again tonight if they played again.
Yeah.
I mean, we got 53 banked, and we're sailing to a winner. They trot him out there for a 58-yarder.
Can't believe it.
Boom.
Pirates, Dodgers under 7. 5-0 in the 9th. Bullpen blows it. They won the game, but 5-3 final with Pittsburgh sweeping the Dodgers. Before the line moves, sharp plays already there. They don't just follow the market. They help move it. You're not going to outsmart or outmuscle billion-dollar books of full-time sharps on your own. With the sharp plays, you don't have to. Powered by advanced AI and plugged into trusted insider sources. Sharp Plays delivers the edge serious bettors use every day. Free reports, real-time alerts, market-moving insights sent straight to your inbox or X feed. Jeff and the crew been at it since 2011. Documented results, public logs, transparent receipts. SharpPlays.com, trusted by pros, watched by the books. Visit SharpPlays.com and stay ahead of the line.
Did you happen to listen to Dak Prescott after the game?
I was watching it live.
So was I. And immediately, I mean, look, never BS a BSer.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. Just my antenna went up immediately. Like, dude, you played a great game. You deserve better than that. Your passes were like phenomenal, on point, and CeeDee Lamb kind of let you down.
Yeah, kind of.
What he said in the game right before it happened about spitting, about Jalen Carter. I spit all the time, probably 1,000 times a game, and I wasn't spitting at him. I was spitting at the ground. I was like, get out of my way. I don't want to spit on my teammates. That kind of thing. When they zoomed in and had that second look of when he spit, and he goes over his like teammates in between their shoulders, and he like that at him, and then he gives him like that look, that cocky look. But you didn't do it on purpose. You weren't trying to like antagonize him. And they got the second spitter. That's it.
Yeah. Go.
Now, Jalen Carter, what's he doing near the huddle? You could obviously blame him. But so then he retaliates. Prescott's like, did you see that? Come on, you got to do something.
Well, right in front of the ref, and that's, yeah. You might get suspended. But I agree.
Can you imagine
I know.
if he misses the first 2 games of the year?
Happen. It could happen. But the other thing is something has to happen to Dak, too.
Of course
but
it does.
It's like, his explanation afterwards was just ridiculous.
it was the biggest line of BS since the Tiger Woods story. Or maybe Steve Ballmer yesterday. Whichever one. But that was the same thing. I'm reading the bottom line.